What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Yeah, because I told y'all in 2025 we're being consistent with our videos and with our content and with our YouTube and with our TikTok. And today I'm about to show y'all how I dye my hair jet black. The last time I dyed my hair was like a few months ago. As you can see, it's dirty right now. It has like some product buildup. I've been doing my edges. I'm gonna dye my hair, I'm gonna blow dry it, I'm gonna do a little trim, and I'm gonna flat iron it. Look at this ponytail, it's old as hell. Like, it's not even flat all the way anymore. It's like bushy and like bent up. Girl, anyway, we about to get it together. I have my materials here. I have some jet black Adore, my dye bowl and my dye brush, and I also have 2 plastic bags. Everything inside the bag so it doesn't get like all over my bathroom and stuff. And I have 2 gloves. Let me see this ponytail. The last time I got a sew in, my hair actually grew a lot. I gave it a trim before I got my hair sewn in, and then once I took my sewing out, I was like, wow, the growth was like, yeah. I also think my hair's been growing because I've been using heat protector, y'all. At first, I wasn't really using heat protector. I was just washing it, conditioning it, blow drying it, and flat ironing it with no heat protector. I know. I also take these pills. Let me show y'all. I got them from either Ross or Marshalls, and I wasn't really consistently taking them. So I take them when my hair is done, like it's in a protective style. I usually take them every night before bed. I want to find these on Amazon, or even if you see them at your local Ross or TJ Maxx or Marshalls, or stores like that, pick these up, girl, because they really do help, for real. Let's get into the hair dye. But first things first, I'm about to change my shirt. First thing I'm about to do is brush my edges dye so the dye can get on every piece of hair. Second thing we're gonna do is part it. So I'm gonna part it in 4 ways. I'm gonna part it all the way down the middle, and then I'm gonna part it down the side so we can have 4 even parts, okay? So now I'm about to pour this. Let me go ahead and put my gloves on because I don't want my fingers and nails to get stained just from opening this, because as you can see already, it's some dye on the top. So I'm opening it up, and I don't even know why it's dye on here, because this is a fresh seal. It wasn't even opened. So I'm about to just pour this whole thing into the perm cup. Trying to make sure I get all of it out. I want all my money's worth. Thank you. We're gonna start dyeing the back, okay? So I'm using my brush. So I try to be very conservative with my mess as well. And I keep me a comb on deck, because one thing I'm gonna do is comb through it once I add the dye, because I want to make sure that the dye is getting on each and every strand, okay? The ends, the roots, the middle. You want to make sure you saturate in the entire section, because if you don't saturate the entire section, you'll see blotched spots in your hair once you rinse out the dye. Even with the black, I can still see like the natural spots and not the jet black. You can see the blotches, and you don't want that. So make sure you just have you like a fine tooth comb. This is a fine tooth carbon comb, and we're gonna just start at the root. And I know I'm at the root even though I can't see the back of my head because it's cold on my scalp. When you at the root, you can feel it on your scalp, okay? And take it all the way around. Behind the ear, behind the neck, on the part. And I like to run my brush through like that, just to make sure all the dye is off and I'm already getting it on all the strands. And I'm putting it on the hair now. Now it's time to saturate the section. Still starting at the roots. See how I'm going all the way around? Alright, so now to get the rest of it, I like to kind of flatten my hair out in my hand. Take a little bit more dye and paint it on there on both sides. Yep. Get those ends real good. And then I take my comb and I run it through and comb it. Comb it out really even. And you always want to make sure that you're dyeing your hair when it's dirty. That's also a good key to your hair picking up the dye. You don't want to wash your hair and then dye it because it has a hard time picking it up. It's always best to dye your hair when it's time for a wash. All right, and once that section is complete, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put it back up into a bantu knot. We're gonna take our clip, put it back in the section, let her sit. And now we're gonna move to the top side. We are not playing about our content. How about that? 2025 is a life-changing year. We are changing our lives. We are changing the trajectory of how we live. And if you're not down with that, baby, I'm not down with you. I noticed that even the more that I'm posting on TikTok, the better my content gets. You know, you learn, and this is why people say you have to start from somewhere, because in the beginning you don't know what you're doing for real. Even as you move on, you don't always really know what you're doing as you're growing. You know what I'm saying? You just growing. But at the end of the day, you learn so much in your growth. You learn how to become better. You learn what makes you more you. You learn your audience. You learn yourself. You learn so many things within this journey as a content creator. You know what I'm saying? When God decides to take you to new heights because of your persistence, your motivation, your consistency, regardless of what it is, honey, the fruit is so sweet at the end of your labor. I am on a mission. Do you hear me? This year is going to be the year that I change my whole entire life. This year is the year that I change my whole entire life. Perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect background, the perfect house, the perfect car. How you gonna get there if you don't start from somewhere? I was waiting on me to have a new bedroom background. I was waiting on my clientele to grow before I started posting on my makeup page. Girl, in what world does that make sense to you? As you grow, you learn so much. You learn so many new things. The key is being authentic, being true to yourself. When you know how to do that, people gravitate towards you. That's what makes you a bad bitch. Do you hear me? I don't never trip, because at the end of the day, God got my back on everything. Stop making excuses for yourself this year. I deserve a better lifestyle. So that's what I'm going for. And I'm finally done. I did all 4 quads. And I still got some dye left. So I'm about to use this to finish just saturating my scalp and my hair. So I'm about to change my gloves and I'm about to put a bag on my head. And we're gonna let that dye sit in. I'm gonna just put it on my head with the clips on. And I just stretch it a bit. Roll it in the front, twist it real good and tight. The key is make sure it's tight so that the heat stays inside. And now the heat is locked in. And we're gonna let that sit for 30 minutes. So I'm back and it's been about 30 minutes. I take my bag off and I'm about to take the clips out and get ready to do a good and thorough wash. She's looking nice and black, as you can see. Don't play with her. Alright? Don't play with that girl. Don't do that. Now I'm about to wash my hair. I don't think I'm about to put that on camera because I just want to like get through it real quick. Alright, y'all. So I'm done washing my hair. I got a little bit of dye on my ear and stuff. This little exfoliator facial pad and some alcohol. And I'm just gonna wipe it off my ear. Perfect. So I did a good wash and condition, and I also did a protein treatment. I like to use Afogi's protein treatment. I let this sit in my hair for about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. So this is the product that I use, OGX's Ever Straight Brazilian Flat Iron Spray. And I usually just, once I'm done washing my hair, I just spray it all over and I brush it through my detangler, and then I go through and blow dry my hair, so it's really like in there protected throughout the whole heat process. Okay.